Howdy-o. Cindy, Brett, and Cindy's Tea and Living. And it is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Absolutely pretty outside. I've been in and out washing clothes. And hear the washer in the background. But me and Brett been talking, and I needed to do another video on this neurological disorder, conversion, whatever you want to call it. I call it the ugga because that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm going a lot because it's hard to think. But I really wanted to get on here and just, still looking for somebody who understands this a lot better. But also I'll tell you about something that happened this week. Well, actually it was last weekend about this time. I was going down quick. My hand had already started turning. My leg was giving out. Couldn't hardly even half walk. And I told Brett, I was like, "Oh, this one's a good one. It's affecting me real bad." And we had gone to one of the little local markets here. Not the grocery store, but like a little market. It's kind of Mennonite, Amish kind of market. Because that's where we get our oats for our Dutch baby and everything. Just like the way I just like the oats and stuff from there. And we come back, and by the time I got home, I was really having a hard time adjusting. I was putting some clothes into wash and getting some out of the washer. My leg didn't want to work, my hand didn't want to work. And then my son-in-law comes in the back door with a funny look on his face. And he looks at me, and I notice his shirt's moving like his heart's racing. I said, "Are you okay, sweetie? Why is your heart racing?" And he just looks up at me and he went, "Dad's dead. I'm going for a drive." And he turns and he walks out. Well, I go chasing after him because he just dropped the bomb that his father had passed away. And I asked him if he'd called my daughter, and he's like, "Not yet." I mean, as soon as he found out, he came to the house because we just live a yard away. So I get on the phone, I'm calling my daughter, and I'm telling her to come home. Told her what happened. And it was a tragic accident. He was in a car accident. But I got to noticing as the day went on, the leg instantly started working. The hand was no longer turned. My functions where I was going down, kicked into overdrive. And it's been that way all week. My daughter and her husband, my son-in-law, went to where his family was, his grandmother, and they pretty much spent the week over there. And I was trying to figure out how in the world how I could help them. And it was driving me crazy. I couldn't figure out what I could do for them. My son, in all of this, had tested positive for the lovely virus. And in all of the running and trying to focus on my son-in-law and take care of things that needed to be taken care of here, I got too close to my son, so I thought, uh-oh, I've exposed myself. So I called my boss and told him I got to take the week off. Mostly because I should have, I don't know, I felt guilty about even returning to work with my son being positive. So I told him, I said, "You know what, I've got to help my daughter and her husband, do whatever I can for them. I'm just taking this whole week." And I said, "I'm on top of that." And of course he texts me back, "Do you have COVID?" I'm like, "No." But I did, in all of it, get too close to my son, and I won't take the chance. as long as I didn't have symptoms, the state health department said I didn't have to be tested as long as I didn't show any symptoms, and I don't reckon I showed any symptoms. But at least I don't feel like I did. So I don't feel like I have it or had it. And I started cleaning my daughter's house because I didn't know what else to do. How else to help them. Told them I'd do whatever I could, but in all of that, we had been working on the nursery, and my daughter had started redoing the kitchen cabinets, and so her house looked like a disaster zone. So I just started cleaning, fixing the kitchen cabinets back for her. We started working, trying to finish up the nursery. But my son and I moved all the stuff, because we moved everything of the nursery into the living room, so we moved everything back into the nursery so that we could clean up the living room. And we was getting the house ready in case they wanted to come home and people come to their house and see them. Because when they left, it wasn't in shape for visitors at all. You couldn't. I mean, there's a little path from all the stuff that wasn't taken out of this cabinet, that cabinet, and out of the nursery. And I mean, it was a complete disaster. And I got up every morning and I went to my daughter's house and I worked. And sat down when I needed to. My son come over those times when we just sat down and talked. And I looked at my son at one point and I said, I don't understand this condition I have. He said, what about it, Mama? I said, I was going down very badly. But the minute my son-in-law said his dad had died, it was just like a light switch. Everything went right back to working. I said, I don't understand. I said, I don't know why it just suddenly switched. And my son looked at me and he said, Mom, it's called adrenaline. He said, don't you remember, mothers can do a lot of things for their children when the adrenaline kicks in, when their kids are in danger or in need. A mom can pick a car up to move it off of their child. I'm like, yeah, that's what this is. I said, but shouldn't I be coming off of it yet? And he's like, I don't know. And then we attended the funeral, and I just kept on and kept on. Last night my daughter come home, and I'd cooked her favorite meal, her and her husband's favorite meal. They love lasagna, so I cooked them lasagna. And this morning I got up and I went over. My daughter wanted to thank us for everything we'd done, so she cooked us breakfast. I guess you can say brunch. And I could feel myself going down. And I told Brett a while ago, I said, I'm guessing the adrenaline's wearing off. Because the condition I was in this time last week had started taking over. Brett's like, you got to lay down and relax. And I said, I'm trying to, but I still want to take care of them. But at the moment, my daughter's back to doing what she normally does. My son-in-law's back to doing what he normally does. And I'm back to crashing again. I don't understand this condition at all. I don't get why it suddenly, like a light switch, shifted when there was an emergency, and now that the emergency is over and things are going back to the way it was, or at least going forward, my system seems to be shutting back down. And my ability to think straight and to do my day in, day out activities has gotten hard again. I know I probably can't live in that level of adrenaline every day, but I don't know, I seem to I guess it was because I was doing what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And I was at my own pace. Maybe that's the difference. Because I texted my daughter and I said, if you don't care, I said, we've been cleaning the house. She said, oh, thank you. I said, you may not ever find anything because I always hated. My grandmother would come and do that when I got sick. My grandmother came and cleaned my house. I could never find anything when she was done. It took me forever to figure out where she put it, because she put it where she thought it should go. And I told my daughter, I said, I'm fighting the urge to do what my grandma always does, is take over and put it where I think. My daughter said, I don't care. She said, I'd just be happy to have a clean house. So that's what I did. I'm still trying to figure out where I put everything. But I guess I've rambled long enough. I don't understand this condition at all. I really want to find somebody. I do know somebody who finds it fascinating, but I'd like to find somebody who can explain it to me, because right now it's very confusing. I hope you have a great day.